My name is Aimee Taylor, and through the VA Caregiver Program, I am considered the primary caregiver for my disabled husband. I wanted to take a few minutes and give you a little bit of insight about the program, because if you're anything like I was, you're probably pretty apprehensive about even getting into it. Believe it or not, it was a pretty smooth and easy ride getting through the whole thing. It was a lot quicker than you expect with most anything. The whole process took me about 2 months to get through the beginning from applying to the very end when I got my back pay. Basically, you go to the website www.caregiver.va.gov, and you can get a bunch of information about the program. You also get the application from there, and you print it out, and they just want basic information, your name and address and stuff, and it'll tell you where to mail it. Right after I mailed mine out, it was within a week, I heard from my local Caregiver Support Coordinator. The lady I spoke with, she was very friendly. She began to tell me a little bit more about the program and the things I can expect. She also went through a rundown of the various steps and everything. She said that she also asked me a handful of questions about the things that I do in caregiving for my husband. Right after that, she said that the next step, they were going to send a questionnaire to my husband's doctors, and that's where they would decide exactly how much caregiving my husband needs based on his disabilities. It was about another week when I heard again, and they said that based on the answers from the doctors, they said that I qualified for the Tier 3. They have 3 different tiers, and it's based on the number of hours of care that the disabled veteran requires. Tier 1 is 10 hours a week, Tier 2 is 25 hours a week, and Tier 3 is for a full 40-hour week. So they told me that I qualified for the 40-hour week. And that's how your stipend will be based on for your pay. Anyway, so the next step was training, and they asked which way I wanted to handle the training, as they have a class that you can go to, they have a website that you can do it on, and they also have a workbook that they can send to you and you can do from that. I chose the website as I'm not always really able to get out of the house, and I didn't really want a workbook floating around and maybe the kids getting a hold of or something, so I figured the website would be the best option for me. It was about another week when I got an email that gave me my login information for the website. And I got all of the training from the website done in 2 days. It really took me a few hours, but I only have free time in the evenings after everybody's in bed, so I could only knock it out in 2 nights. But the way the website is they have it broken up in various modules. And the first one is the longest one, and it is about taking care of yourself. Because if you are unhealthy, then you're no good to the people you're supposed to be giving care to. The other modules touched base on things like resources, things that you can get that would help you, like a walker or a wheelchair. They touched base on some mental health, and a lot of it was just basic information about taking care of somebody. And at the end of the modules, you will have 20 questions to answer, and that is when you complete your training. After you finish answering the questions, you have the opportunity to go back if you're unsure if you answered any of them right or not. And once you submit it, then they will let you know that the next step, they will email you. And I finished mine on a Friday night, so I didn't get an email till Monday morning letting me know that it was completed and that I had finished and passed my training. and that they also sent a copy of that to my support coordinator. So after that, it was about another week when I heard back from my support coordinator, and she let me know that the next step was going to be the home visit. Now, this is the biggest thing that tends to make people the most nervous, and I will be honest, I was pretty nervous about it too, and I was like a crazy lady running around my house, cleaning everything spick and span, looking for things to shine, because I was so worried that my house just would not be perfect enough, because I didn't know what kind of things to expect when they come into my home. Well, despite all the crazy mad lady cleaning I did, the two people that came to my home basically just sat at my dining room table and asked a lot of questions. They were very friendly. They basically, just like the original phone call, were asking the kind of things I do to take care of my husband. And then they asked, is there anything I need? Do we need a hospital bed? Do we need a walker? Anything like that. And they were very open-minded. They took notes on the things that I requested. And they did ask me a few questions about the kind of burdens I feel or the stress that I feel as being the caregiver. But it was real easy. I think it was under an hour. It really was not as scary as I was worried about. After they left, it was about another week when I heard again from my support coordinator, and she basically told me that the last step, she submits the paperwork, and I will get an approval letter and everything in the mail. Plus, they will also send me a direct deposit form so that I can fill that out and have my stipend directly deposited into my bank account. So I got that paperwork within a couple of days, and in the approval letter I had got an ID card stating that I was the primary caregiver. And I filled out the direct deposit form and I mailed it back the next day, and I started getting my stipend basically about another week later. And shortly after that, I got my certificate from the Easter SEALs, who are the people that handle the training program, and stating that I had completed my training. So it really was a pretty simple and quick process to get through the whole thing. And I have to say that the stipend has been really helpful, because we were really having trouble financially since I had to quit my job a couple years ago to start taking care of my husband. So we were only living on his disability. So anybody who's having money issues, I definitely recommend at least trying, because if you qualify for any of the tiers, the money is helpful. I also know that they will you'll be eligible to get on CHAMP VA, the health insurance. Now, I didn't need the CHAMP VA currently because I was already on it, but I can say that the CHAMP VA has been great since we've been on it. They really do cover a great deal of the medical appointments and stuff. I've gotten doctor bills that are, normal basic visits that, could be like $60, and I only have to pay, anywhere from like $5 to $10 of the appointment. So it has really been helpful. I also know that they offer things like counseling and such for you as the caregiver. I have not implemented those yet, but I imagine that they would be great help for anybody who needs it. So honestly, I would recommend this program to anybody who is in the same position as I am, because despite my worries in the very beginning when it first came out, it really has been helpful. They do come back out and visit you each 90 days while in the program, and we recently had our first 90-day visit, and it basically went just as smooth as the original home visit. They asked you the same questions to see where you are status-wise and caregiving, and if there's any other things you need to have to help with the caregiving. So honestly, it is a great program. It is definitely worth looking into, and I would recommend anybody to try to apply. Thank you very much.